Hi everybody, thank you so much for joining me for a midday broadcast. As you probably know, in 2018 I started life coaching, and I had the pleasure of helping 35 individuals, small businesses, and nonprofits set goals and reach them, which was awesome and amazing. But in 2019 I have an even greater vision for who I want to impact, and so I'm launching a new mentorship program called Unmoved Mentoring, and it consists of 3 12-week programs where individual topics are going to be discussed in depth. The first of these is called Life After Narcissism, and it really helps women who have gone through or who are currently in a relationship with a narcissist rebuild their identity. It's one of the first things to go when you start when your life starts to become about a narcissist. So I wanted to talk to you a little bit about, before I go into more details about what is going to be discussed in that program, I wanted to give you some spiritual principles as to why this is such a deadly and a very dangerous thing to come into contact with when in the natural. So a lot of people believe that the first sin was Adam and Eve eating from the tree in the garden, but that's actually not true. In Ezekiel 28, we hear about what the Bible says about Lucifer. It says that you were blameless in your ways from the day you were created. Your heart was proud because of your beauty. You corrupted your wisdom for the sake of your splendor. In the abundance of your trade, you were filled with violence in your midst, and you sinned. The first sin was narcissism. And this is why it is so important that we are able to identify narcissists, understand how to establish boundaries, and we have implementing mechanisms systems set up in our lives to prevent this from happening. One other thing that I want to point out with with Lucifer, and when he was kicked out of heaven, he took a third of the angels with him. A third of the angels in heaven knew him and knew God, and they still chose to go with Lucifer. A lot of times people who are in narcissistic relationships, they lose a bunch of family and friends because they just don't understand the full picture of what is happening with that relationship in terms of the, I hate this word, but victim's identity and things like that. This goes back to this very principle of the angels knowing God and knowing how good he was and still choosing to go with Lucifer. So fast forward now, when Satan appears to Eve in the garden, that's the first thing that he attacks. He understood what she was created to do, who she was, and he attacked her identity. And that's common with relationships, when you get into relationships with a narcissist. So in my course, it's a very intense course. This isn't for people who are just interested in learning more about it. It's people who really want to transform their lives. This is a summary of all the stuff that I've learned in my own life over the past 2 years. You're going to get it in 12 weeks. So it's very intense. Be prepared to do work if you're interested in it. You can read a little bit about my story on my website, which is posted in the link to this video. And I've written a whole book on it, actually. I'm just waiting for the right time to release it. But you can learn more about this program and more about what I do and things like that on the website. So included in this first one, it starts in March, and included in it will be some techniques that I've learned over the past 2 years. How to renew your mind, how to set up healthy boundaries, how to reestablish trust in your life, how to explain to other people what's actually happening, how to document this stuff if you need to use it in a legal setting. I have experts coming in every single month to discuss their perspectives on this as well. I'm going to announce, that kind of stuff into the private group. This is a private group. Again, it's for women. Ashes to Beauty is a ministry that is established to empower women and help them rebuild and reconnect with their identities through their relationship with God and and by building connections to other women as well. When I was doing individual life coaching last year, that's the one thing that I noticed, was that people were lacking the connection that they needed to sustain the healthy thought patterns and new behaviors that they were learning. They didn't have the support system. And so by doing a group mentorship program, I'm hoping to provide not just information that you can use, like a roadmap to how you can rebuild your life, but also forming the connections as deep as you want or as little as you want with other people. So I just really wanted to share that with you right now. I'm going to get back on here every day for the next 5 days. Next week, I live in Northeast Wisconsin. If you're local to me, I'm starting to speak at some live events starting next week. So if you're in this area, please message me if you want more information. You can learn more about them at these events that I'm doing. I'm starting them next week and they go through the end of February. If you're not local to me, I have several, I'm going to be doing a few more Facebook Lives about this, but I'm also, I've got some media engagements and things like that that I'll be posting on my Facebook page. Thank you so much for tuning in. Again, thank you for helping me last year. Everybody who signed up for my life coaching, it was such an honor to be able to work with you guys, and I look forward to everything going on in 2019. Thanks again.